Let me start off by saying I love this show, but I have a little problem with it. Disney Plus. This show shouldn't be on Disney Plus. Moonknight is one of Marvel's lesser known superheroes, but I've come across him a few times in other media. I also did come across the term of him being Marvel's Batman, but there's more to him than just that. But before we dive into the series, let me give you a quick introduction to Marvel's Moon Knight. Moon Knight is the fist of Khonshu. He was created when Mark Spector dies on a mercenary mission. He is then revived by Khonshu to be his sworn fist of justice. His fractured mind then develops two other personalities, Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley, whom are both very unique in different ways and serve different purposes to Mark and Khonshu. The series is however quite interesting and enjoyable to watch. I was worried at first because a character as dark as Moon Knight being on Disney Plus, well, didn't seem like the right fit. Because what I know about Moon Knight is that he is one of the brutal ones. In my last video, I spoke about my personal classifications of heroes such as the Byronic heroes and the anti-heroes. Moon Knight is more of an anti-hero in my opinion, a deeply troubled anti-hero. Mark Spector is Khonshu's fist of justice, so he carries out judgment to those Khonshu deems worthy of punishment, regardless of his opinions. He does what needs to be done, and sometimes his stories can get a little brutal. So, Disney Plus adapting Moon Knight was not a right fit for me personally. The story was very good and entertaining, no doubt, and there isn't one way of telling a story, but I feel like with characters like Daredevil and Batman, there needs to be a certain level of darkness to the story, because he is essentially a dark character, and not having that in there just seems like a missed opportunity. Again, I'm not saying this to bash the series. I actually love the show. It actually made me like Moon Knight, whom I personally didn't care for. So, after doing a bit of digging of the character through the comics, I came to the conclusion that Moon Knight is one fucked up guy. His stories are really dark and intense, like literally. And I just think it would feel more authentic if it had a darker tone, which was prevalent in the Daredevil series on Netflix. I think it would have suited the Moon Knight series nicely, but it's not in Disney Plus's MO to do something like that. Hulu, maybe. They want to keep everything under one banner, which I understand, but I still wish they had gone that route and added the age restriction like they did to the Netflix shows they recently acquired. The lighter tone helped delve into the relationships and the mystery behind the Egyptian gods, so I guess it's still a win for the show. And it did the best to fit that all in, given its runtime and the number of episodes. All Marvel series are now going to be on Disney Plus moving forward, and it's like a blessing and a curse. Disney feels like the right fit for Marvel, but when it needs to tackle darker characters, I feel that's where the problem arises. Because those characters have to be now modeled in a way to fit Disney Plus's younger audience, and with a character as problematic as Moon Knight, you would be expecting, I think, a level of brutality and bizarreness only he can provide. The Moon Knight comic fans got the short end of the stick here, and as enjoyable as the show is, we just got a watered down version of the character. And this is a problem depending on what Moon Knight means to you and how authentic you wanted his portrayal to be. Because they definitely can't adapt certain things from the comics, but then again, he's not like our typical heroes. Nonetheless, what I wanted it to be might be a hot take, but hear me out. I wanted to delve more into Mark's fractured mind, his trippy mental state. I really wanted to believe this guy is crazy and unpredictable, giving us time with Mark or Grant and how they deal with their dissociative identity disorder, certain cinematography tricks to creep us out, showing us how really messed up he really is. Show us the broken man. I might be coming across as a gatekeeper of some sort, and I want to say honestly, I'm not. This interpretation is also great too. It helps to bring in more fans to the Moon Knight franchise. And yeah, certain changes need to be made to the material for mainstream audiences, so for what it's worth, I'll just accept it. Luckily, I like the show for what it is, but I can't help but think about what it could have been. And I didn't mind the jokes of course, but I guess I should have expected it. What I want is a show with a sort of Netflix Daredevil tone, not shying away from the blood and violence. We got all this to some level in the Disney Plus show, no doubt, but I feel they should have removed certain jokes at certain scenes to keep the tone consistent for me. But I guess that's fine if it worked out for the best. Having Stephen with a V deliver a one-liner with his British accent gets me every time, so it's all good.
Let's all just like chill the F out and take the body back.
The series, however, opens with Stephen Grant as the main personality. Stephen is a mild-mannered British guy who works at the gift shop. He is introduced to us in the show as a sort of host body, where Mark was one of his personalities he tries to keep in control. This was actually a great way to introduce him to us, because with Stephen we get to see him in a more sympathetic light, a guy trying to be normal. But every time he blacks out, he wakes up at weird places, or he's covered in blood, or multiple days have passed. And it sucks for him because it seems he can't catch a break or live his life properly due to his sickness. Mark Spector, as we soon come to find out, is the main host of the body who created Steven to protect him from his abusive mother. As much as he likes to put up a front, he's a very sympathetic guy. He's actually more efficient, he gets things done, the things which Steven chooses not to do. So, it gets annoying when Steven hinders him from doing his job. Jake luckily was hinted at multiple times in the series if we were really paying attention, and I was really curious to see how his personality will be like, and to be honest, I dig it. He's different from Mark and Steven. And even though I said Mark is efficient, Jake is the one that actually does the dirty work. In the comics, he's supposed to be a stand-up guy, while Steven is supposed to be the billionaire. And even though we don't have enough information about Jake, I think he is the true owner of the Mr. Knight personality. I might be wrong about that, so take that with a grain of salt. The brother relationship Mark has going on with Steven was the best part of the show for me. It was wholesome and something Mark needed to bring him a sort of balance. And yes, Steven worked really well when they're in sync. It was a pleasure to watch. The series overall is a great watch. Marvel hasn't disappointed us yet with their Disney Plus shows, so I would definitely recommend it to you to watch. Even if you know nothing about Moonknight, you will enjoy it. It's great for newcomers, and it doesn't necessarily require you to watch any other Marvel stuff to get into it. So give it a go. And as always, don't forget to like the video. Who is your favorite personality in the show? Let me know down in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out a lot. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to share to your friends who might be interested. I've got other videos you might also want to watch, so check out those too. And remember to keep moving forward.